Welcome back to the 21 Boom Guided Meditation. This is Zach Feeney, Coach Zach Feeney, and I'll be your guide for the evening. When we speak of meditation, it is important for you to know that this is not some weird cryptic activity as our popular culture might have it. It does not involve becoming some kind of a zombie, vegetable, self-absorbed narcissist, navel gazer, space cadet, cultist, devotee, mystic, or Eastern philosopher. Meditation is simply about being yourself and knowing something about who that is. It is about coming to realize that you are on a path whether you like it or not, namely the path that is your life. Meditation may help us see that this path we call our life has direction, that it is always unfolding moment by moment, and that what happens now in this moment influences what happens next. Meditation is the process by which we go about deepening our attention and awareness, refining them, and putting them into greater practical use in our lives. I don't know of any magical solutions, and frankly, I am not looking for any. A full life is painted with broad brush strokes. Many paths can lead to understanding and wisdom. Each of us has different needs to address and things worth pursuing over the course of a lifetime. Each of us has to chart our own course, and it has to fit to what we are ready for. Formal practice refers to specific periods of time in which we purposefully stop at other activity and engage in particular methods of cultivating mindfulness and concentration. Mindfulness is an ancient Buddhist practice which has profound relevance for our present-day lives. Meditation helps us wake up from the sleep of automaticity and unconsciousness, thereby making it possible for us to live our lives with access to the full spectrum of our conscious and unconscious possibilities. Mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. This kind of attention nurtures greater awareness, clarity, and acceptance of present moment reality. When we commit ourselves to paying attention in an open way without falling prey to our own likes and dislikes, opinions and prejudices, projections and expectations, new possibilities open up and we have a chance to free ourselves from the straitjacket of unconsciousness. Be yourself and not try to become anything that you are not already. It is liberating in that it leads to new ways of being in our own skin and in the world. We tend to be particularly unaware that we are thinking virtually all the time. The incessant stream of thoughts flowing through our minds leaves us very little respite for inner quiet. Meditation means learning how to get out of this current, sit by its banks and listen to it, learn from it, and then use its energies to guide us rather than to tyrannize us. This process doesn't magically happen by itself. It takes energy, and we call the effort to cultivate our ability to be in the present moment practice or meditation practice. Meditation is the only intentional, systematic human activity which at the bottom is about not trying to improve yourself or get anywhere else, but simply to realize where you already are. People usually don't get this right away. They want to meditate in order to relax, to experience a special state, to become a better person, to reduce some stress or pain, to break out of old habits and patterns, to become free or enlightened. All valid reasons to take up meditation practice, but all equally fraught with problems if you expect those things to happen just because now you are meditating. You'll get caught up in the wanting to have a special experience or in looking for signs of progress. And if you don't feel something special, pretty quickly, you may start to doubt the path you have chosen or to wonder whether you are doing it right. When we let go of wanting something else to happen in this moment, we are taking a profound step toward being able to encounter what is here now. If we hope to go anywhere or develop ourselves in any way, we can only step from where we are standing. If we don't really know where we are standing, a knowing that comes directly from the cultivation of mindfulness. We may only go in circles for all our efforts and expectations. So in meditation practice, the best way to get somewhere is to let go of trying to get anywhere at all. And the best way to capture moments is to pay attention. Mindfulness means being awake. It helps to have a focus for our attention, an anchor line to tether you to the present moment and to guide you back when the mind wanders. The breath serves this purpose exceedingly well. It can be a true ally, bringing awareness to our breathing. We remind ourselves that we are here now, so we might as well be fully awake for whatever is already happening. To use your breathing to nurture mindfulness, just tune into the feeling of it, the feeling of the breath coming into your body, and the feeling of the breath leaving your body. And that's all. Just feeling the breath. Breathing and knowing that you're breathing. This doesn't mean deep breathing or forcing your breathing or trying to feel something special or wondering whether you're doing it right. It doesn't mean thinking about your breathing either. It's just a bare bones awareness of the breath moving in and the breath moving out. One practical way to do formal meditation practice is to look at other people in your daily life, taking your formal practice into your daily life. One practical way to do this is to look at other people and ask yourself if you are really seeing them or just your thoughts about them. Meditation is neither shutting things out nor off. It is seeing things clearly and deliberately positioning yourself differently in relationship to them. It's possible through meditation to find shelter from much of the wind that agitates the mind. Over time, a good deal of the turbulence may die down from lack of continuous feeding. But ultimately, the winds of life and of the mind will blow, do what we may. Meditation is about knowing something about this and how to work with it. The spirit of mindfulness practice was nicely captured in a poster of a 70-ish yogi, Swami Satchidananda, in full white beard and flowing robes atop a surfboard, riding the waves of a Hawaiian beach. The caption read, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf." Thinking you are unable to meditate is a little like thinking you are unable to breathe or to concentrate or relax. But meditation is not about feeling a certain way. It's about feeling the way you feel. It's not about making the mind empty or still. Although stillness does deepen in meditation, it can be cultivated systematically. Above all, meditation is about letting the mind be as it is and knowing something about how it is in this moment. It's not about getting somewhere else, but about allowing yourself to be where you already are. If you don't understand this, you will think you are constitutionally unable to meditate, but that's just more thinking. And in this case, an incorrect thinking at that. When people say they can't meditate, what they really mean is that they won't make time for it, or that when they try, they don't like what happens. It isn't what they're looking for or hoping for. It doesn't fulfill their expectations. So maybe they should try again, this time letting go of their expectations and just watching. The joy of non-doing is that nothing else needs to happen for this moment to be complete. Non-doing simply means letting things be and allowing them to unfold in their own way. Certain attitudes or mental qualities support meditation practice and provide a rich soil in which the seeds of mindfulness can flourish. Patience is an ever-present alternative to the mind's endemic restlessness and impatience. Scratch the surface of impatience, and what you will find lying beneath it, subtly or not so subtly, is anger. It's the strong energy of not wanting things to be the way they are and blaming someone, often yourself, or something for it. Part of our mind is constantly evaluating our experiences, comparing them with other experiences, or holding them up against expectations and standards that we create, often out of fear. Trust is a feeling of confidence or conviction that things can unfold within a dependable framework that embodies order and integrity. If we are unaware of what we are doing a good deal of the time, and we don't particularly like the way things turn out in our lives, Perhaps it's time to pay closer attention, to be more in touch, to observe the choices we make and their consequences down the road. At the deepest level, there is no giver, no gift, and no recipient, only the universe rearranging itself. Concentration is a cornerstone of mindfulness practice. Your mindfulness will only be as robust as the capacity of your mind to be calm and stable. You can think of concentration as the capacity of the mind to sustain an unwavering attention on one object of observation. It is cultivated by attending to one thing, such as the breath, and just limiting one's focus to that. In Sanskrit, concentration is called samadhi, or one-pointedness. Samadhi is developed and deepened by continually bringing the attention back to the breath every time it wanders. When practicing strictly concentrative forms of meditation, we purposefully refrain from any efforts to inquire into areas such as where the mind went when it wandered off, or that the quality of the breath fluctuates. Our energy is directed solely toward experiencing this breath coming in, this breath going out, or some other single object of attention. With extended practice, the mind tends to become better and better at staying on the breath, or noticing even the earliest impulse to become distracted by something else, and either resisting its pull in the first place and staying on the breath or quickly returning to it. The stability and calmness which come with one-pointed concentration practice form the foundation for the cultivation of mindfulness. Without some degree of samadhi, your mindfulness will not be very strong. You can only look deeply into something if you can sustain your looking without being constantly thrown off by distractions or by the agitation of your own mind. The deeper your concentration, the deeper the potential for mindfulness. It is virtually impossible and senseless anyway to commit yourself to a daily meditation practice without some view of why you are doing it, what its value might be in your life, a sense of why this might be your way, and not just another tilting at imaginary windmills. If you hope to bring mindfulness meditation into your life in any kind of long-term committed way, you will need a vision that is truly your own, one that is deep and tenacious, and that lies close to the core of who you believe yourself to be, what you value in your life, and where you see yourself going. Only the strength of such a dynamic vision and the motivation from which it springs can possibly keep you on this path year in and year out, with a willingness to practice every day and to bring mindfulness to bear on whatever is happening, to open to whatever is perceived, and to let it point to where the holding is and where the letting go and the growing need to happen. The ways in which we need to grow are usually those we are the most supremely defended against and are least willing to admit even exist, let alone take an undefended mindful peek. If mindfulness is deeply important to you, then every moment is an opportunity to practice. Try asking yourself why you meditate or why you want to meditate. Don't believe your first answers. Just write down a list of whatever comes to mind. Continue asking yourself. Also inquire about your values, about what you honor most in life. Make a list of what is really important to you. Ask yourself, what is my vision, my map for where I am going and where I am and where I am going? Does this vision reflect my true values and intentions? Am I remembering to embody those values? Do I practice my intentions? How am I now in my job, in my family, in my relationships, and with myself? How do I want to be? How might I live my vision, my values? How do I relate to suffering, both my own and others? I've been told that in Pali, the original language of the Buddha, there's no one word corresponding to our word meditation, even though meditation might be said to have evolved to an extraordinary degree in ancient Indian culture. One word that is frequently used is bhavana. Bhavana translates as development through mental training. To me, this strikes the mark. Meditation really is about human development. We must be willing to encounter darkness and despair when they come up and face them over and over again if need be, without running away or numbing ourselves in the thousands of ways we conjure up to avoid the unavoidable. Awareness is not the same as thoughts. Awareness is more like a vessel which can hold and contain our thinking, helping us to see and know our thoughts as thoughts rather than getting caught up in them as reality. Meditation does not involve trying to change your thinking by thinking some more. It involves watching thought itself. Another way to look at meditation is to view the process of thinking itself as a waterfall, a continual cascading of thoughts. In cultivating mindfulness, we are going beyond or behind our thinking, much the way you might find a vantage point in a cave or depression in the rock behind a waterfall. We still see and hear the water, but we are out of the torrent. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Oliver Wendell Holmes.